Hello, hello. Hello, Jill. Hello. Welcome. Hello. Has everyone got a little tipple? And here is our guest of honor. Here is our Harry. He's in a bit more of a glamorous setting than I am, though, aren't you, Harry?
Yes, hi everyone. I'm Harry. I'm just in Antigua, off the back of actually going on Arvia from Barbados and doing the audit and making sure that rum is being made in the correct way on board Arvia, in our beautiful still Aurelia. So making sure that Golden Tide is being made correctly. So I've been
Well,
in Antigua now for a couple of days.
I mean, we're all jealous, Kelly. You've hit the nail on the head. So we were saying, I'm in my kitchen in the beautiful New Forest in Lymington. But yeah, what a lovely job you have, Harry. So shall we
I,
get cracking tonight?
For sure, I can do a quick view. It certainly
Oh,
the
go
views
on,
here
make us all jealous.
certainly beat Scotland where I grew up.
Oh my goodness, it's like a postcard.
So this is Galleon Bay, which is about 45 minutes away from St John's, so the harbour.
Wow. I won't show you my garden because it's seen better days because it's been awful winter, hasn't it? So this is my kitchen. Like my tiles? Okay, look, we got lots of you joined tonight. Thank you very much. So let's get cracking. And look, welcome to our first ever Thirsty Thursday. Cheers to it nearly being the weekend. And look, thank you so much for you all attending. And I did think when I was scheduling this webinar, probably didn't need to do it in the daytime. I've done it at probably a bit more of an inconvenient time for you guys, 6 p.m. But I thought we can have a little tipple as we go, can't we? So I'm hoping we're going to have lots of fun tonight. We've got loads of lovely prizes up for grabs, and you never know, you might learn something new, which is a first for me when I'm having a few tipples. But if you don't know me, my name is Steph Adams, and I'm the training and engagement manager at P&O Cruises. And Harry needs no introduction now, but he is one of the co-founders of the Tidal Rum, who of course P&O Cruises partner up with. We're very proud of the partnership with the Tidal Rum. Harry. So, Harry, how are you? I mean, it's a very tough life that you've got right now, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, perfect. I'm Harry, and together with my friend Ben, we created the Shorts Boy Distillery. I originally grew up in Scotland in a place called St Cyrus, 150 meters from the most beautiful beach of St Cyrus. And Ben grew up in Jersey, where our distillery is based, the Shorts Boy Distillery. And Jersey is famed for two things, among others, I'm sure, but that are particularly relevant to us. The third widest tidal range in the world and the most sun in the British Isles. So for us, the tides, both where I grew up and where Ben grew up, were really important to the way of life. So, the beach when it's low tide, the island actually trebles at low tide in Jersey. And that's where we get an incredible, I get Kaz, who's our forager, describes it as an underwater rainforest. And from the underwater rainforest, we find the most incredible botanicals. So Ben and I loved rum. We met at the University of Manchester. And we used to always we've basically traveled around trying the best rums we could find around the world. We also, at the same time, are hanging out with a friend Kaz, who's a forager for some of the best restaurants in the Channel Islands and in London. And he introduced us to a rare botanical called pepper dulse, which in our view has two of the best characteristics of rum. One being this saline breath of sea air, reminiscent of the Jamaican pot stills, so the original way of making rum. The other, this rich, oaky, truffly flavour that is reminiscent of the barrel aging process. So it's known as the truffle of the sea. It's got this rich, oaky, inherent flavour. The barrel aging process is where rum gets a lot of its flavour and colour from. So at the Short Spoil Distillery, we basically wanted to celebrate and elevate rum. And that's where our partnership was formed with P&O Cruises to create the first rum distilled and created at sea, which we together named Golden Tide. And Golden Tide is this sister product to the Tidal Rum, which again is this elevation, and it's a perfect introductory rum, and it was designed with the guests in mind on board. And it's built around this 5-year aged rum distilled in Barbados, along with 6 British botanicals to create, which we run through a still on board Arvia. And it's the most amazing still built by a company called Arnold Holstein from Germany, a hand-hammered still called Aurelia, which means the golden one. So the golden one on the Sunshine ship, Arvia, creates Golden Tide. And so we take a 5-year aged Bayesian rum, a white rum from Barbados, and run the white rum alongside 6 British botanicals from Jersey's coastline, through the still to create a distillate. And the 6 British botanicals are 3 seaweeds, so sea spaghetti, spiral vrac, and red dulse, and 3 plants from the coastline of Jersey as well, which are wood sorrel, nettles, and rock samphire. And plants that grow, which we've actually done together. We've gone foraging, haven't we, Steph?
We have indeed, Harry. It was so much fun.
And plants that grow close to the coastline bring in and absorb some of that salty saline flavour of the sea. So in both of them and the products we've created, we wanted to really celebrate that holiday moment, that moment of, I guess, you arrive on holiday, you take that first sip of your Golden Tide ginger ale, slice of orange with a sprig of samphire, the perfect serve. And that's what we want. The moment we wanted to create is, you're on holiday.
Yes, exactly. And that's where we all want to be, right? With P&O Cruises. So we are going to learn so much from you tonight, Harry. I can already tell. Are you guys enjoying this already? I can see the reactions going up the screen already. I've had to steal this from the office. And they all laughed at me because they said, you're making one drink and you need the full bottle. And I was like, well, yeah, it's Thirsty Thursday. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to get up to once this is finished. So we are talking to Harry, of course, because we have created the first ever rum distillery at sea on board our 2nd XL class of ship, Arvia. And you've just got such a unique blend, and it is all about blending the sea, and it captures this sense of adventure and excitement that a holiday on board Arvia brings. Now, you did talk about you and Ben, but how did it all, you met at university, but where are you guys based now then? Because you were in Scotland, Ben was in Jersey, but you're based all over the place.
Our home is Jersey. I'm currently in Antigua, but our concept from the start was blending and celebrating the best rums from the world, in our view, from the Caribbean. And that's where the partnership really resonated, because there's a sense when a guest goes on Arvia in the Caribbean that they're bringing together the best of British and the best of the Caribbean and those incredible holiday experiences. In creating Golden Tide, what we've done is we've brought together some incredible rums with some incredible British botanicals.
Yeah.
And that moment is, again, just celebrating the wonderful holidays that are created in those moments.
And it's so good because we call ourselves Britain's favourite cruise line. So we've got this Caribbean rum that we blend with UK botanicals from Jersey. And you know the pepper dulse, because I met Kaz when I came out and we went foraging. Kaz, who, like you said, forages for all of the botanicals, the truffle of the sea, the pepper dulse, it can only be foraged at a certain time of the moon, is that right? Or a certain tide?
So there's a best time to forage. So the idea with our bottles of Tidal Rum, we've got a couple of circular and Golden Tide. We've got these circular motifs on front of the bottle, both bottles, and that kind of celebrates like that sort of momentary beauty that only nature can create. So the widest tides are spring tides at full moon because the moon has this power or gravitational pull on the tides, which creates the widest tides. And hence, when it's the widest tide, there's the most seabed exposed, which means it's the best time to forage for seaweeds. But there's a kind of dangerous beauty as well to it because the tides can come in at almost running pace. So you have to know what you're doing. It's not something that everyone should do. And also, seaweeds and botanicals are to be protected. So you've got to know what you're doing. You never want to take the roots out. You're always trimming if you ever do it.
Yeah, because that's also a passion of P&O Cruises and the Tidal Rum is all about the shared passion for the sea environment and sustainability as well. So I think that's really key that you've touched on that you're not pulling them out by the roots, you're just trimming them. And that was Kaz was so passionate about that when we went foraging with him. Does he have any help?
A bit of help every now and again. And yeah, he's also just got this incredible knowledge of the coastline of Jersey, and he runs coasteering classes. He also teaches people to kayak and respect the waters because the water is something that you need to respect. It's a dangerous beauty, but he's a local legend and knows it all better than anyone else.
He truly is. And we went foraging, and I didn't know whether I should trust him for some of the things he was picking that we ate. But then we went to a restaurant where he had provided what he'd foraged, and we had the beautiful dinner that night. So he's doing so much for you guys. But like you say, he's a local legend in Jersey.
Yeah, exactly. And pepper also known as the truffle of the sea, is it's this botanical that's kind of it's got a kind of a bit of a mystery to it. It's unlike many other seaweeds, but it grows just in the tidal zone, so that tidal level in the rock pools around Jersey. And in the creation of tidal rum, we paired it with four really nice 3-year age rums from four different Caribbean islands. So
Right.
yeah, and we went through. I mean, it was a tricky job going through
Oh, I'm
from around
sure,
the
traveling around the
world,
Caribbean.
but in the end, we settled on four rums: one from Jamaica, one from Barbados, and one from the Dominican Republic, and one from Trinidad. They're all really good rums in their own right, but together with pepper dolls, it ties it together into this really beautiful liquid that's kind of good and stands up on its own neat over ice, but also is a really nice base for a number of different cocktails.
Love that. And you talked about elevating rum and making it the first drink of the night versus the last. What was your inspiration and what do you mean by that?
So I think and there's a beautiful display in Anderson's bar on Arvia, in which is the bar that's built around the still, which has incredible menus with almost telling the story of rum in itself. There's this display which shows uh, bottles from clear liquid all the way through to slightly darker, slightly darker, slightly darker. There's about 20 or 30 of them, all the way to a thick black liquid. And that very visually and beautifully shows how wide the range of rum is. I mean,
Yes.
a lot of people have connotations. They might have a memory of a sort of end of the night rum and coke. What we wanted to reimagine rum as is this first drink of the night. So really appreciate the incredible liquid, the aged liquid. Put it into a sort of a bottle that isn't your overly masculine, overly maybe piratey that some people might have connotations of and might have a bad memory of, and create like a refined liquid both in form and flavor and profile and taste. And so that's kind of what we meant. So we've sort of reimagined rum as that first drink of the night rather than the last.
Yeah, well, it's certainly my first drink of the night, and it will probably be my last as well. But Yeah, and you can see how light that is when you're talking about the different colours of the of rum. So yeah, a much lighter start to your evening. Now, how did P&O Cruises approach you? How did the partnership with P&O Cruises come about?
So we heard originally from the team, and uh, it was quite a unique pitch that we sort of put together because we got down when we put our concepts together, and we instantly realized, I think, that there were really nice synergies based on what we talked about before. You know, that combination of celebrating the best rums of the Caribbean with really good British experiences as well.
Yeah,
Uh, in order to pitch to kind of we went foraging with Kaz with some of the team, and then we actually so just south of Jersey there are these little sandbanks called the Minkies, and we presented our which are basically sandbanks that only appear on certain tides for a certain number of hours and then they disappear. And on one of the sandbanks we'd constructed the most southerly bar in the British Isles, and
brilliant.
we pitched in our concept and what we thought. And within the couple of hours, then it was time to leave because there was no more bar and no more sandbank. So together, that was the kind of it was sort of a glimpse of the experiences we wanted to create together, which I think are kind of truly unique experiences. And as I said, I've just come off the back of traveling on Arvia
Yes.
and created for my wife a a bespoke bottle of rum, which is an experience that guests can enjoy in Anderson's bar, which is actually creating their very own spiced rum. So they can choose from a number of botanicals, including seaweed botanicals, but some more conventional botanicals as well. Two base rums, so one with slightly sweeter, one slightly spicier, and create their own bottle of rum that they can take home if it makes it home.
Yeah,
And
I don't know if yours will, Harry. You've got a weekend still left in Antigua. But
exactly.
these are the master classes that we run on board, isn't it? So there's two of those. There's the blending, which starts from about £70 per person, which is the one where you make your own rum, or there's the tasting for 30. I think it's about £32. So it's run through expert eyes. Melvin was on there, but I think you had Arthur, who was
Okay.
the distiller when you were on board. Tell us about those classes. What's the difference between the tasting and the blending?
So the tasting is an introduction into rum. And you try three rums. So you try our Tidal Rum, a white rum, a Blanc now, the Tidal Blanc, and Golden Tide. So it's almost like, as we said, there's this from white through to 3 year aged through to 5 year aged. And throughout that, you get a real introduction into the sort of world of rum. And actually what's very cool is there's sort of an introduction, and then you're actually in all of the different islands where the rums are coming from. So you can go ashore, you can experience and see the rum. So it creates that, I guess, celebratory moment that then allows guests to then go forth and sort of discover rum in the place to do it.
Yeah,
Um,
perfect. Yeah, that
so as
nose and
opposed
palate. You learn about the nose and palate in the tasting. Is that right?
exactly. So there's a whole process of actually the best way to taste alcohol, because not everyone drinks alcohol at 40%. Some do, but actually, to a lot of people, just tasting a 40% spirit is quite shocking in itself. So there's
Yeah,
a whole methodology to being able to taste the complex flavors, and also mixes are also available, but the methodology is taking a small amount of it, acclimatizing your palate and your nose to the alcohol level, and
yeah,
then you can start to pull out the actual flavors. So yeah, that's the process for the tasting class. And you're sitting on this stunning table right next to Aurelia, the still in which we make Golden Tide, surrounded by the amazing bar of Anderson's. That display I mentioned is just over to your left. And it's a truly special experience as well. And then there are also rum flight options on the menus too. So if you don't actually want to commit to the masterclass, you can also by these flights, which also give you that introduction. And then the blending masterclass is the opportunity to create, name, and try your very own rum. So guests love this experience. It's still got that educational side. You get to try Golden Tide in the perfect serve. You learn about the history of rum. You get to try the base spirits and then the selection of different botanicals, from cacao to chocolate to ginger, a real range of different flavors that you then construct your own rum at sea. So on the bottles, you also have the longitude and latitude. You get to name
Yes.
your rum. You get to put your name on there, and yeah, guests just love it. It's a really fun experience because it's a couple of hours and you really immerse yourself in rum. And
Yeah.
doing it next to that beautiful still is a truly incredible experience.
It's beautiful. So she's a 50-litre still, which is incredible. How do we actually distill gin on board?
So the process and alcohol as a thing has an incredible characteristic, which means it can hold flavors and it has a lower boiling point than water. So in essence, in a very simplistic term, you heat alcohol at 40% because it's on a ship, which adds another layer of complexity. So I was actually there installing the still with the team when the ship wasn't finished. And so, there's another layer because of obviously all the safety elements. You've got to keep alcohol at a lower ABV than you might do if you were creating it on land.
Yes.
Um, but essentially, the process, because alcohol has a quality where it can extract flavors like no other liquid, it has a lower boiling point. So essentially, it to you boil it, and that extracts the flavor, leaving just water. And so
Yeah.
it runs through into the cooling chamber and you get a distillate out. And what's really amazing about the distillate is the flavors come through at different times. So you can taste more of the sort of seaweed botanicals, then into some of the other botanicals later on as it comes off the still. And it's a fun process because it's in this beautiful glass box where guests also walk past. So it's really on display, Aurelia. And you feel people sort of walk past and they go, you know, I'll, I'd love some of that, and then go on to the bars and enjoy it. But it's funny because it's actually soundproof, so a lot of people sort of go, but it has that wow factor
I was going to say,
distillery.
it's the wow factor when you walk past. And Anderson's is just such a beautiful bar with that tasting table as well. It looks cool, doesn't it?
Exactly. And actually in Anderson's, it's not just Golden Tide and Tidal Rum.
No.
There's a whole host of amazing rums too, and actually gins for the Mediterranean season when Maribel is made on board.
Oh, that's very nice of you to recognise another company. But yeah, of course, we have the still on Iona and Arvia, and that became, Maribel Gin from Salcombe Distilling. And then, of course, Arvia going to the Caribbean. It was right that we had the rum distillery on there. But yeah, you're absolutely right. And look, any of your customers that are going on board, whether they're on the classic or the deluxe drinks package, you can get Golden Tide or Maribel Gin so they don't have to miss out. Or, of course, they could go and take part in that tasting or blending masterclass. The other thing they can do is go and buy bottles of this in the shops. Now, if you get a bottle on board with a gold label, that means it's actually distilled on the ship. So I think that is a really cool present. So if you've got anyone in the shops, go and get that. But if you've got a blue label, that means it's bottled on the mainland.
Yeah, exactly. And the gold label has created at sea written on it, which is a very cool thing. So it's to look out for. But the blue label is made to exactly the same criteria. So the same similar flavor. Obviously, each still is unique, and the factors of being on board create some differentials, but it's made the same recipe with the same botanicals and the same rums. And then the shop on board, the retail space on Arvia is really cool, full stop.
Yeah, full stop.
It's
It's
really,
it's massive,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, for all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
But the spirit section is really cool. We've got a really nice Tidal Rum and Golden Tide display, and there's some quite nice videos being played throughout. And all the team on board are also well versed in what Golden Tide is as well. So, and I think they sometimes have sampling and tasting sessions up there as well.
Yeah, go and have a little cheeky tipple. Did you cruise before working with P&O Cruises?
I hadn't, but I've spent a lot of time just at sea on boats. Quite a bit of my family have as well, but in the past, and I've done it quite a lot since the partnership was established.
And do you like it? I'm taking it as a yes, but you wouldn't say
Yeah,
any
love
different
it.
on here, would you?
I love it. I think one of the coolest things is going to sleep in one port and waking up in another, and
Yeah.
waking up early, especially here as the islands all have their own amazing identity. Just recently when we were in Martinique, there was a carnival going on and such a good feeling, and then you go to another and it's just, I don't know, Tortola, and it's just an amazing beach, very close to even walking distance from the ship. I was obviously working, so I'd only be out for a few minutes, but even just popping out for 15 minutes, there's an enormous amount you can do, and a lot of fun to be had. So no, it's a very cool thing. And then obviously the ship itself is amazing.
Oh, Arvi is just beautiful. The sunshine ship, so it's absolutely right that we've got the golden tide on there. Right, now talk me through the perfect serve before we give away some of these gift bottles. So I've got my full glass of ice. Now, I was told with gin you should never have more than 2 cubes of ice because it breaks something down in gin. But rum, that's completely different, isn't it? So
Well, I think you tend to be you can't in warmer climates, but also I mean I'm not sure exactly where the gin side came from, because I think if you like ice, if you like a really cool drink, you can fill the glass with as much ice as you've got.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
so but the perfect serve is a good measure of Golden Tide. I'm actually making a little one myself as we speak.
And me, Harry.
A a slice of orange as the garnish, and a top up of Fever Tree ginger ale or any ginger ale you have.
Well, I
A
picked the
good
right
a
one in
good
Waitrose today then.
a good ginger ale, and then our perfect serve garnish is a sprig of samphire.
Just one.
Well, if you like it, you can put a couple in, but the perfect image is. But samphire's an amazing botanical. It's not actually the botanical that we have in Golden Tide. That's rock samphire. But samphire's an amazing, delicious. I mean, used a lot in seafood as just a really nice garnish, and it grows just off the coast. I mean, particularly in Norfolk, but throughout the UK. But I've memories of just picking samphire off the banks there.
Oh, well, cheers, everybody. Cheers. Cheers, Harry. Lymington to
Cheers.
Antigua. Cheers.
Cheers to everyone in Antigua and everywhere in.
Oh, yeah. Lovely. I won't get carried away. Don't you worry. P&O Cruises for the past couple of years have been the headline sponsor of the BAFTA Television Awards that just honours the best in British and international television. And we created a cocktail on board to be served during that time. And how cool is it that your Tidal rum, or the Golden Tide, features as part of that cocktail linked with the BAFTA Television Awards with us? Did you get
Oh, it's
involved with creating it?
it's an amazing cocktail. It's it's quite a sort of event. It's quite a moment, and the partnership in general is incredible. Again, these incredible British moments around the world, but the cocktail is quite a sort of mixing Golden Tide with Tattinger champagne and a little bit of it's almost like candy floss with a really nice edible float. that has the P&O Cruises and BAFTA logo on it. It's quite a sort of, I think it's very popular on the formal nights on board because it is that kind of like BAFTA moment recreated.
Yeah, I love
And
that. And
yeah, a
it'd be
perfect
so special. We're celebrating the best of the British, and then we've got that. Can you tell us what ingredients are in that? I can't remember. It's Golden Tide. It's a champagne, isn't it?
passenger champagne. So
Taittinger champagne.
best of the best. And then this candy floss garnish. But yeah, it's quite a kind of it's quite an event because that's sort of floated on the top. I don't have a difficult to conjure up the image, but there's quite a wow factor when guests order that.
Yeah, I love that. And you've been on the red carpet, have you, at the BAFTAs?
Yes,
Doing your
I've
James Bond bit?
yeah, it was an amazing experience and a lot of kind of well, I guess it's a synergy and partnership there. But very cool to see the logos throughout and a really cool presence there. It was on the South Bank in London, and all the stars were there.
And you were one of them, Harry. What did you call your bottle of rum that you made for your lovely wife?
I called it Moz's birthday tipple or Moz's B-day tipple.
Oh, and was she impressed with it?
Well, it looks like it. Her birthday was on the 18th, so
Oh, you've done very well there then. She's a woman after my own heart. I love that. I was telling Harry earlier, I've not been feeling too good for the last couple of days, and this is definitely fabulous medicine, and it tastes so much nicer than normal standard medicine. Beautiful. A couple of things, really. Now, Harry has been incredibly generous and he is offering a 20% discount if any of you do want to buy your own bottle of Golden Tide. So, if you're not lucky enough to be picked as the winner, you can go on, is it onto your website, Harry?
yes. So www.tidalrum.je.
There we
And
go.
on board, on there, it's a 20% discount across the board.
And you
Um,
need to quote Thirsty Thursdays 20. Thirsty Thursday 20. Thirsty Thursday 20.
exactly, with the number 20, not the word. So
Yeah.
Thirsty Thursday 20, actually.
Thirsty Thursday 20. Yes, and we'll put that comment in here. So please go and buy a beautiful bottle because honestly, this is just gorgeous stuff. I'm hoping, did you all learn something nice tonight? I'm hoping you learned a lot about our partnership with Golden Tide. Yeah, lots of love hearts going up the screen. What makes up the perfect serve?
Uh, Golden Tide, of course, a Fever Tree ginger ale, a slice of orange, and a sprig of samphire.
Yes, lovely. And actually, someone's just put this question in the chat. Can you remind us of what makes up the BAFTA cocktail?
Well, the key bits are Golden Tide and Tattinger champagne. So really, really beautiful rum and a really beautiful champagne. And then one of the sort of dramatic bits is this almost small candy floss that you then can put into the drink and it dissolves into it to kind of bring it all together.
Yes. And then it's with honey and citrus bitters, isn't it?
Exactly. So that kind of again brings the elements together to create a really nice kind of complex cocktail.
Yeah, I love that. And Dale, I just got there. Someone commented to say add citrus and honey. Well done. I'm glad that you're enjoying this poll. And then how much discount are you offering very kindly for anybody to take advantage of?
A 20% discount for today. So
Yay! Who is going to go and buy a bottle? Do pop it in the chat if you're going to go and head to to the website. Remember, Thirsty Thursday 20. Lots of people saying me. Harry, it's such an exciting partnership. What do you have in store? What does the next year look like for you guys at the Tidal Rum or, in getting involved with P&O cruises? What can we expect?
So yeah, one of the big exciting ones is we've just launched a new spiced rum with a red moon on it, and a Blanc, which is a white rum infused with some really interesting botanicals. The Blanc will go on to, which is the Géré, which is the language of Jersey. The Géré for Blanc white. It's a white rum with a really complex twist. It's going to be used in the tasting sessions as well. So it's going to be one of the three rums, which is exciting.
Cool.
Uh, Beyond that, I think there's just, just keeping on creating rum at sea is such a moment that is completely unique. It's one of a kind, the first in the world. And so just making sure that everything continues in that way is exciting for us. I think that moment of drinking both Tidal Rum and Golden Tide at sea is just perfect for the brand and perfect for the kind of collaboration.
Yeah, long may it continue, right?
Yeah.
When's your next trip?
My next trip is there's a big celebration for Britannia for the 10th anniversary in June, and I think that is across to Ireland, which I'm slightly involved in, and then a number of different other visits, and then I always do the changeover, so the changeover from gin to rum in October,
Yes.
which tends to be around the sort of from either Spain or Southampton to Tenerife. But
Lovely.
Ben, my business partner, he is about to go on a short cruise on the 1st of April on Iona with all
Okay.
of his family, all 12 of his family, from Southampton to France to Belgium. So they're all very excited for that.
Oh, I bet they'll have the best time. And again, like Arvia, 30 places to drink and dine on this XL class of ship. So I'm sure they'll be sampling a lot. So I'm just going to check the questions, check if anyone had any questions for you, Harry, and then we will get on with giving the 10 gift sets. Oh, thank you so much. This super interactive session has been great. And look, people are saying I'm not normally a rum drinker, but I could be persuaded. Absolutely. And me. And that's what you mean, Harry, by not that last drink at night being that first choice. Definitely going to be mine. So, have you all enjoyed tonight learning all about our partnership with the Tidal Rum? And Harry, can you see all the reactions going up the screen? I hope you can because it's incredible. But look, thank you ever so much for all of you attending tonight. It was our first Thirsty Thursday. Would you like us to do this again, perhaps with Maribel Gin next time? Let me know. And thanks for giving up your evening. I really hope you've enjoyed yourselves tonight. We've got a brilliant partnership. And look, rum might not be everybody's thing, but it's all about telling your customers these blending masterclasses there, these brilliant partnerships that we have to tie in Britain's favourite cruise line with those botanicals of Jersey to create our own rum. And at the end of the day, cruising and with Pinot Cruise is about holiday like never before. It's offering our guests something they wouldn't get on a land-based holiday. So I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you very much. I'm definitely going to go and finish this beautiful perfect serve. And I will see you on Facebook Live next Wednesday. So if you've not had enough of me already, join me there and I'll see you very soon. Bottoms up. Cheers, everyone. Bye.